All right, guys, we are back live but not live for another episode of the Mix Behind the Mic podcast. My name's Harry McCluskey, co-host Keith DeAngelis.
Yo.
And today we got a good one, a special one to me, someone that's one of my favorite in the business. If you've ever watched a wedding film and actually felt something like chills or goosebumps, this man might have been behind the camera for it. Today we have Drew Tomczak. Did I say that right?
You got it.
Tomczak, owner of Any Film Co. He's not just a videographer, he's a storyteller. Drew, welcome to the show.
What an intro, man.
Good,
wow.
man.
It was
We
great.
like that.
Wow. I was not expecting that. Thank you. It's an honor to be here, man.
Dude, appreciate it. Me and Drew go way back. Can you remember the first? Because I was thinking about it. You do?
Lauren's wedding.
Lauren who?
Pasco?
Lauren Pasco. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Bro, ironically, off the air, we were just talking about Mike's here sometimes.
Mhm.
Mike was the DJ with me at that wedding.
Yeah.
Shout out Icona, right?
Icona,
Damn, I knew I was going to get it. And it like
One and
totally
only
slipped
time
my
I've been
tongue.
there, too.
Really?
That's the only time I've been there. I've been trying to get back.
Cool
but
spot. It's
It
definitely
is.
a cool spot.
Right on the beach. It's great. Wildwood, yeah.
Yeah, so before we hop in, I just got to talk crap to these guys that were like geeking out. We could have started 30 minutes ago, but they were like, stroking each other. Can we say that on the pod? I
Yeah,
don't know.
we were rolling the
All
whole
right.
time, too. So.
So,
Stroke my FX30 is my name online. I don't know if you know that.
Stop. So, Drew, dive in.
Yeah,
How'd you
man.
get started in the business?
Mhm.
Walk us through us, get us the whole spiel of
Yeah.
how we got Any Film Co. going.
Yeah, man. I started out in the music industry. I was making music. I don't know if you remember.
How did I forget this?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was.
I bet you didn't know he was a rapper.
I did.
Yeah. Still am, low key.
Well, I was.
Every
I
once
apologize.
in a while, I
Okay.
might drop something on
Are you okaying me to cut a couple of?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I was just going to say,
man.
like,
Roll
drop
the
it right
clip.
here.
Roll the clip.
Right.
Yeah, man.
We will.
I have kids now, so it's hard to record in the basement like I used to. But
Okay.
hey, man, if I got to record something in the car, I
How did
will.
I forget this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it started. I was recording music and just got around people that were filming music videos. This was before Instagram. This was before Vine. I mean, Instagram existed, but I don't even think at the time Instagram started as photo only, and
Right.
you couldn't even share a video to Instagram yet. This was around that time. So it was YouTube. People were just posting to YouTube.
Right.
And I remember having like a friend of mine who had a camera. He's like, yeah, I'll film a music video for you. And we filmed some like in studio stuff, and he filmed it and he like delivered the video to me, and I was like blown away. It was like the most basic video ever,
Sure.
but I'm like, this is like the song I recorded and you shot it
Together?
and it's together. Like it like mind blown.
How old are you?
I had to have been 15 or 16
Okay.
at the time. So I'm 33 now. So
Okay.
just for reference.
Sure.
I'm like, man, like that was amazing. And then I'm like, I need another one. So I was like recording songs and I'm like, man, I need another music video. I want to do that again and again. And then it was like, yeah, I don't have time to do it. Like I would say, oh, I don't have time, or I get you in a couple weeks or whatever. So I was working on other people's time, and I'm like just chomping at the bit to get another one. So I'm like, how hard could it be? I'm like, I need to go get me a camera. So I start doing some research. At the time, the popular camera, I would say the GoPro of then was called the Flip HD.
Okay.
And you could probably Google this and find it. It was this little handy cam, and it had a USB that would like flip out from the side. That's why they called it the Flip.
Right.
So you'd be able to film your little 720p video and then flip the thing out, plug it into your computer, and upload all the footage. And I'll never forget, just like, I didn't even have a tripod. So I was just trying to like balance it on things, and I'd rap in front of it. And I just put the videos together, and it was like the coolest thing ever. So all that to say, that's where I started with video. And then just over time, I would start to film other artist videos. And somewhere down the line, a friend of mine said, hey, like, I'm getting married in a couple weeks. Like, have you ever done a wedding? And I'm like, no. He's like, how'd you feel about coming out and like just getting some clips, just try it out. And I'm like, okay. So
How old are you here?
I had to have been, if I was 15 then, I was probably closer to 17, maybe 2 years into it.
Still really young.
Still very, in the infancy stage.
Okay.
What an experience. One singular camera. I think I had one additional battery. Like, I'm like, oh my God, my camera's dying during like this ceremony. But luckily, like we're friends, and he wasn't expecting much.
Right. The expectations were.
It was extremely low, and I
sure.
told him that, and he was totally. It ended up coming out pretty sick for what it was. I didn't have a gimbal, I didn't have a drone, I didn't have audio. It was just point and shoot.
Oh.
Just
You remember what camera it was?
the Flip HD.
That's what
Yeah,
you used?
I shot it on a Flip
Holy,
HD. Yeah,
I thought you had something.
nothing.
No, that's
I had a
amazing.
Flip HD, and I filmed anything and everything on that.
That's awesome.
But the first camera that I actually like invested money that I
Yeah.
made in the business was a Canon T3i. So it was like
Okay.
an old Rebel with like a kit.
Was it a mirrorless or a DSLR?
I think the T3i is DSLR.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it wasn't mirror.
Canon 7D was the first one I had way back, which was like
that was
it
full
recorded
frame.
for like 20 minutes though. It was awesome. But
Yeah.
like it would turn off.
So yeah, the Canon T3i came along, and then that was just a really long-winded say that it's been over the course of 15 years to be like where I'm at now. And it just snowballed. Like it just snowballed from that wedding with my friend. I posted it. Someone else seen it in the friend group. We're like, hey, my cousin's getting married. And then you just post. And then I just literally, I feel like I just ended up here now. And that's how we got here.
I love it.
It's amazing.
So 15, 16, what did young Drew want to do? Was this boom? You saw that first video, fell in love, and the snowball was like there from day one? As far as like the vision of doing this long term, I should say.
To be honest with you, no, man. I wanted to be a rapper for the longest time.
Okay.
That sounds ridiculous.
No, I mean, listen.
16, all through high school, even coming out of high school, I was always doing video. I was always in the media world.
Okay.
Right after high school, I started working for the gas company in Philly. And then that's where I met Ed Bassmaster.
Oh, I love that Bassmaster.
So I was working out front of his house one day with PGW. So I was at my day job and I'm working out front of his house. And I knew that because we're working and here comes Ed Bassmaster walking down the street with his dog. I'm like,
you're like, what?
I'm like, dude, that's Ed Bassmaster. And then the foreman, the other guy I was working with, he's like, oh yeah, that most definitely is. And he was like a super outgoing dude. I'm being all reserved. I'm like, dude, don't bother him. He's walking his dog. Leave him alone. And he's like, aren't you like a fan of him? Like, don't you do video work and stuff? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, why don't you go say something to him? I'm like, nah, man, he's out front of his house. Like, I don't want to blow his spot up. So I get to doing what I'm doing. I'm working. I look, he's walking over. He's going to talk to Ed. And I see him like pointing at me. This guy, he films videos or whatever. So I'm like, he put me on. Shout out to Rob Gonzalez for PGW. He put me on right there in that moment. He's like, yo, this dude is sick with a video camera. Like, you got to do some stuff. Ed walks over. He's like, hey man, like he was telling me you do video. He was super cool. Ed was super cool. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, I do, some video stuff. And ironically, I lived around the corner from him. Like Ed Bassmaster lived 2 minutes from my house. And I had no idea. I always knew he lived in Northeast Philly, but I'm like, I didn't know exactly where. And it just so happened it was that close. And he's like, yo, I'm going to LA next week. When I get back, I'm going to DM you and we'll get together. And sure enough, he did.
That's awesome.
So, moving from like the wedding I did, I was still doing the music videos. And then I got introduced to Ed and I was doing a lot of like content style videos for him. I was filming all of Ed's videos for the better part of, God, when was that? That was probably 2016, 2015. Yeah, around that time. And then like between then and all the way up to like last year, I was shooting with Ed. So for like the better part of 10 years, and now he's touring and I can't travel like that because I have kids and stuff. So, and the wedding's picked up. But to answer your initial question of when did it get serious with weddings? Maybe just before COVID started. So it's 26 now. That happened in 2020. So like the last 5 years, really, I didn't LLC my business until COVID.
Right.
I wasn't like a legit business. I didn't take it that serious until that time. And now I'm taking it as serious as ever now. Like, yeah, I feel like I've built something now and
Sure.
it feels important now. Like before it was just like, yeah, I'll film a wedding, whatever. But now like I take a lot of pride in it. And I love filming weddings now. I really do. I really do. Cause I feel like I found my groove now and I have like a style and I'm really leaning into it now. So
I love it.
that's where I'm at.
So this kind of goes right into my next question.
Yeah.
It says, was there something specific that made you want to focus on weddings, or it was just the pure love of, again, walk us through your timeline. What do you love about it? Why weddings over anything else? And,
Yeah. I think what really like nailed it home for me is when I got my first Google review.
Okay.
And they were just telling me how they felt about me and the service that I provided. And they were just like over the moon with the video. And I'm like, it just felt important what I was doing. And I'm like, wow, like, and then I really you just have to take a step back when you're filming weddings. Like you take a step back and realize what you're providing, the service that you're providing. It's an heirloom. It's something that they're going to be able to look back on forever. Right. And it's an honor to be able to be trusted in that way. I always tell my couples that when they book with me, I'm like, man, like what a true honor. Like of all the people you could book, you chose me to preserve one of the most important days of your life. And it's truly a blessing and it's an honor. And I think, yeah, that one Google review was like, and I wish I could find like the exact one, but I was like, man, like that just made me feel so good. And I feel just, that's just epic, you know, like it's just like you made someone's day, you made their year maybe. And, yeah, I think that's was like the turning point where I'm like, okay, I need to take this serious.
I really think there's something magical about the wedding happens. Maybe they go on a honeymoon. Life gets back to normal and not so crazy. And then they get to relive it X amount of weeks later where it's just that like icing on the cake, final boom, they get to relive that. And it's, again, magical for a lot of people. So
yeah, because the day's a blur, you know, for the bride and groom, there's so many, like they plan it for so long and then it finally arrives and they're getting pulled in every direction and the day just goes by like that. That's why preserving it is so important because, you know, they look back on the day and it's just like a faint memory until they can see the photos and watch the video and get all that media back. So what we do is very important.
So we wrote some questions down, but before we even dive into some of the stuff, again, I want to go back to what we started talking about off the air, which is I think that there's, no matter what vendor you book with your wedding, DJ, photo, video, we'll just use them big three. You can spend $500 or $10,000, if you will, on any of these services, and it really comes down to, you know, you get what you pay for always. So I kind of want you to run through your cinematic approach to talking to people. Pitch NE Philco, if you will. But.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, man, I try my best to not sell. I hope and I imagine that people, when they reach out to me, they're reaching out for my service. Like they see what I produce and that's what they want. There's something out there for everybody. And I just in the community, I say like, there's a difference between videographers and filmmakers.
Sure.
To me, a videographer, and it's great and people love videographers, but a lot of people, they lean in. It's usually a budget thing with video. Let's just be honest. Okay. They book photo, they book DJ, they book all, you know, the big three. And then they're like, a lot of couples that I found are just like, they usually either choose, they make a decision like, do we want a videographer or do we want a content creator?
Yep. That's one of my list questions too.
So I don't know if you want to segue into.
It's funny because my next question that I'm going to just tell you says, why do you think video is still one of the first things couples cut or cut off the budget? So, I mean, they're all right there. So go to town on any of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can go either route. So yeah. So I see it a lot in like the Facebook groups.
Sure.
It'll be brides like, hey, I was thinking about a videographer. What are your guys' thoughts? And then you see a lot of people in the comments, they say, oh, just book a content creator. Yeah. Oh, and it's a lot of the younger generation and stuff like that. And, I love content creators. Don't get it messed up. A lot of people have this, preconceived notion that videographers or filmmakers are like salty for the content creators. I love them. Some of my favorite people in the industry are content creators, and I think they are amazing at what they do. But I always tell brides when they ask me about it, content creators do not replace videographers.
Absolutely, sure.
They're a service. They
Apples
can
and oranges.
Exactly. They can coexist. When they coexist, it's beautiful. And I love working with content creators, but their job is to capture behind the scenes vertical content. And I always tell brides when they ask about it, I'm like, there's never going to be a time when you're in your living room with your entire family and you put your content on the TV. It's meant to scroll. It's meant for the quick turnaround. It's meant for Instagram.
That's the big part.
And I get the appeal, but they're not content creators. Their whole thing is not to tell a story. It's to just capture things as they happened in linear fashion and just deliver it like that. And maybe do some of the trending stuff.
Sure.
But go ahead.
Do you know Carrie Ann Mullen? Shout out to her. She's a content creator.
Okay.
She was just on the show a couple days ago. We haven't aired it yet, but she literally said exactly what you said as far as like one of the biggest things is behind the scenes and the quick turnaround. And shout out to our friend, since she shout you out, Amanda from Love Struck.
Oh, I love Amanda.
She put it perfectly when she said, one thing we love about good content creators is they give that quick 24, 48 hour turnaround time. So again, no matter what you have in your paperwork as far as turnaround time, I feel like it gives them a nice little taste of getting something right after, especially when you made the comment of, it's perfect that it's such a blur, so much going on.
Yeah.
But having that quick turnaround time to scroll, share with family and friends gives you that leverage of 4, 6, 8, whatever weeks it is until, they get the real quality back of.
And that's why I do, like, I'll do teasers within 48 hours. And people, I feel like the teasers do the best online. Like when I post a teaser, it's usually like a 1 minute teaser that encapsulates the day. Some of the most like epic shots that I got, people love those. And those are the ones that usually, like I said, get the most traction online. And then like when I send the feature films, if they post it, people love it, but it's usually like family, like the virality, if you will, is usually in the teaser films and then beautiful shots and using.
How long are your features? I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, they vary, to be honest. But on average, they're between 7 and 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then you have like documentary edits, which is more of a linear.
I love those. I've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, documentary is great. And those are for people that like to see things in their entirety. Like, of course, with a feature film or a highlight film, things get cut up for the story. So like you take a piece of, mom's speech, piece of dad's speech.
Right.
Some of the vowels get cut up, and it's all about curating a story and making it work with music and all these things, different sound effects, and just creating an overall story. And then the documentary film is like, lets it breathe.
How long are those usually?
They can be like upwards of an hour.
Do you have like little like green rooms where people come in and talk, like those kind of like the Office type documentaries?
Oh, I've seen those.
Like
no, I haven't. It's funny. The Office. It's funny because I've had people reach out to me like, "Hey man, can you film our wedding like The Office?" And it's
I just think that would be cool if you.
It would, yeah, like the crash zooms.
I feel like it would be
stuff.
very hard to like.
It'd be very difficult, and people do like shout out Bernardi Films, Justin Porter. I don't know if you've seen him. Like they do a lot of like that Netflix documentary stuff where. Like a friend of mine, Luke Bernardi, he literally has a setup where he has a boom mic, like a literal like movie boom mic, lighting equipment that he has on like a dolly, and he'll bring it around in the reception and like interview people with
so
microphones.
Cool. Wow, I've never seen
and then
that.
he weaves it into his film. He's incredible at what he does, and it's he does that like Netflix style documentary, and it's similar to like the Justin Porter thing. Like he was kind of like he's the guy who went viral for all that.
Right.
So yeah, shout out to Luke, man. I don't do that. To me, I'm like, I've actually second shot with him plenty of times, and I'm working with him coming up, and it's just fun to see his process. I'm like, man, shout out to you, dude, because you already like you mentioned before, like weddings are stressful. You're running around, you're trying to make sure everything's right, and then here he is with this like huge setup, and I'm like, dude, like with everything going on, you're doing that. Shout out to you, man. It's incredible. That I haven't got to that level yet. I'm focused on. My thing is I love composition. I love lighting. I love I call it like moody editorial. Like I love the way my film, like the way I like to explain my films. My favorite word to use is ethereal. I like to make it feel almost like a memory, like almost like you're dreaming and remembering your wedding. That's how I like it to feel. I want it to feel like floating and just like atmospheric. I want you to feel the vibe of it, of the day.
Yeah.
Like I try to like really encapsulate that with my music choice. And I'm thinking when I'm on a wedding day, I'm there live. I'm thinking about the edit. I'm thinking about, hey, based on like what everybody's wearing or like the aesthetic of the venue, the color palette that they used, I'm already like hearing
the song and the
song and the music.
You have to kind of.
Yeah, like, hey, like if I'm at like a place like the Bellevue and it's like a city wedding and I'm hearing like orchestra strings and like very like reverberated music and cellos, that's what I'm hearing. But then if I'm at a spot like Holly Hedge where there's a lot of like greenery and water features, it may lean more into, ambient tones, like foresty type tone. Like I'm trying to like build, like really like make people feel where they are.
Yeah.
It's about feeling,
I love that.
Can I just tell you that he's talking about feeling things in the video.
Yeah.
And I am not a producer nor a filmmaker, but in that exact moment, I felt that there was a clip right there
like
of him saying
just
the clip.
It.
Like there's no way there's not a clip of that little segment.
He's seen
he just
enough
did.
movies. He
Yeah,
understands.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. Like recently, I've been obsessed with composition and light. I
Composition's amazing when you get like I'm and so like some of the clips that come by mind, like with leading lines and like things that like some of the stuff you see on there, I'm like, how the hell are these people like some of the composition that's like made up on those people are like this is another language.
So it's funny because this is one of the number one reasons why I wanted you to come on, Keith, just for the video aspect. But like I can sell this stuff. I know enough about it. And like, shout out to John Perko. We haven't mentioned him talking video yet. He's our lead videographer guy. And I love John's work, but I'd like to think that dark and moody is not something I would say about John.
I don't think so.
Right. So, and that's probably the first thing I think about when I think of anything in your aspect of things. I think, and again, sometimes I'm like I might not talk too much and let you guys geek out more today because I'm so ignorant to it, some of it, but like some of the stuff I watch of your stuff, I felt like is dramatic. Maybe that's a good word.
It's a good word.
Dramatic is a good word. And dark and moody and dramatic are probably three. That's probably exactly how I can.
Got to use my favorite word, ethereal. That's my word. I love that.
I'm going to Google
it's
that
on my
later.
website.
I'm not going to lie. I almost said, Siri, what does that mean?
Ethereal is
Give me this definition.
So I won't even give you like a word for word definition, but if I had to describe it in like to give you like an image, just imagine the train of the dress and it's just like floating across a beam of sunlight coming through a dark brown floor, and it's almost like ghostly in a sense. It almost looks like, you know, you guys do the dancing on clouds type. So think of like
a perfect wave.
Just think of just the textures of that, like that soft glowing whatever this is.
I got you.
That's a clip
in a
too.
bottle. That is
American
ethereal.
Beauty. Have you ever seen American Beauty?
Yeah.
Remember the
Once
bag
years ago.
that floats through the air? And he's like, that's beautiful. And he keeps recording the bag floating.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's the whole message of the whole movie. It's just like that.
It's just like graceful and almost.
Do you guys want a room? Like, do you want me to leave? Like, you guys are.
I told you we could geek out all day, man.
awesome.
But it's just like real movies. Like when you watch a Wes Anderson movie, like
Wes Anderson with the
love
composition.
the way Wes Anderson does his, but he doesn't follow the rule of thirds at all. He kind of just does everything square and just like, it's amazing how he like.
There's a word that I always want to say to brides, but I don't want to scare them away because it's, I don't know if you guys are you guys, I don't even know if this makes sense, but a word that I like to describe with my work outside of ethereal is like ghostly, like, but not like spooky boo ghostly, just like the way a ghost moves, if that makes sense. Just
supernatural, maybe?
Just like, it just feels like contrasty. The lighting's perfect. The movement, like I like just very like, I love like subtle movements. I don't like ridiculous, like fast paced. Like there's a lot of editors that do like the.
I slow a lot of my stuff down a lot.
I like to let the scene breathe.
Yeah.
And I've been really leaning into, like I said, composition, letting the camera sit and allowing the character to create the scene. So whether that be like I just mentioned, like with the dress movie, I do that a lot. I'll see like a pocket of light, and video to me, being a videographer or filmmaker, is about anticipating what you have to be 10 steps ahead. So if a bride is getting ready over here, mom's over here, I know the timeline's running out. I know she's about to unhook that dress and walk straight through this beam of light that's on the floor. I know that dress has that train on it and it's going to drag gracefully right through that light. I'm going to expose for that light, black out everything else. And then just when the white part of that dress floats across that floor, it just will, I'm getting chills thinking about it. It'll just like evoke this like moodiness, this feeling. And it's just like B-roll that you can add into, because what's a videographer going to do? Like any other videographer that doesn't think about these things, they're going to shoot the dress on a hanger, probably a plastic hanger.
I just did that.
Well, no offense.
He's talking shit. God.
No offense.
I'm joking.
Because I've done this too. I used to come in, and you first walk into, you know, the bridal party, they're getting ready. It's a little awkward. When you first walk in, you're like, hey, like I'm a videographer. 9 times out of 10, you're like the only dude in there. And the dress may be hanging. So I might get, I used to get like 10 shots of the dress and maybe never use it. But now, like, I don't even want to shoot that. I want to shoot the bride in the dress.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like, it's almost pointless to, because I used to do it just to almost just like warm up, you know, so I don't look like a dude just standing there with a camera, like, oh, let me just shoot this. And I just felt like I needed to shoot everything. But as I've grown in business and just as a person in general, I'm extremely intentional with what I shoot. So I used to come home with 600 clips, and now I come home with half of that. And that's because I'm extremely intentional with what I shoot now. And I try to tell my second shooters to do that. And everybody that I work with, they're amazing, and they learn the eye and how I see things. And I get inspired by other videographers and movies. I watch a lot of movies and shows, and
it's hard not to overshoot. It is because you're like, I might want that. I'll just get it, and then you don't end up using it. It's just there.
But you don't want to miss anything either, and I get that. And there's a very fine line between like being like overdoing it and trying to like stage things, which I do. I don't stage things outside of like a really epic portrait shot of a bride or something. Like there's certain things, and I don't even like to call it stage. Like for example, like sometimes something will happen and you want to shoot that fly on the wall method where you don't want to do too much, but then like the exit signs in the background.
Oh
and
my
it just
God,
looks like
the
crap.
exit signs, bro.
Yeah, first of all, can we talk about that? What's with the exit signs?
Let's talk about it.
Like,
Where they're always in the back of your shot.
Of them?
Why and like why can't they be more aesthetic? Like why can't they like blend? Like I understand like they gotta be like you have to see
they're
them.
saving lives, but still.
Yeah,
but like
they're
during
really,
like the first dance, like can we shut them off?
I don't
like please.
Right, like they know where the exit is if there's a fire in that 5
Are we
minutes.
positive that red is the best color for them? Maybe blue works out.
Like,
I'm just
there's a venue in particular that I don't even know if I want to say the venue because I don't want to crap on the venue because I love the venue.
Can you say can you tell
Here,
us
let me preface this.
How it is?
This venue that I may or may not say in this next clip is top 3 for me.
Okay.
This is a fun game we play. If we can know
venue.
what it is with you telling us the story.
Without telling us.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love this venue. It's extremely elegant. If I had to describe it, it is Great Gatsby vibes.
City, burbs, where you got to tell us?
It's local. We're within 30 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
We're within 30 minutes. Everything about that place is stunning except for the exit
The
signs.
700 exits.
Except for the placement of the exit signs.
Interesting.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
I don't know why I'm just drawing such a blank.
2 words. They both start with the same letter.
Meredith Manor? I'm just going.
That's a good guess, though.
I'm going. Well, that's what I'm like.
I was going with the same letters too. I'm
Same
trying to think.
letters too.
Yeah, I think like definitely like luxury,
It's 2
upscale,
words?
old money. 2 words. Both start with the same letter. Long driveway.
Elkins? I've never been there.
Really?
How crazy is that?
Elkins Estate.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Top
definitely
3
never been.
venues for me. I absolutely love
I know
that
people
place.
that like rave. I've never been there.
That place is stunning. It leans. It just screams luxury. It screams
Yeah.
old money. Most of the brides that get married, bride and grooms that get married there, they're pulling up in a Rolls, like old school Rolls.
Right,
like it just fits that vibe. Listen, this
That's
is
why
no
we're just
knock on
running.
Elkins. Elkins, if you happen to see this, I love your venue. I just hate your exit signs. That's all.
Yeah, it's not even
That's
talking
it.
shit. It's
Imagine
just pure,
if this is what
But I
fixes
totally
it somehow.
understand the exit signs. I get
Yeah.
it. People need to know where to go. But like, there's one in particular, like on it's the dance floor, and then you have where the DJ and or the band sets up, and then there's the door, the exit, and it's right there. And the way that the reception is set up, you have to walk through. Like when you walk into the room, the dance floor is all the way at the other end of the room, and you have to walk through all of the dinner tables.
Yeah.
So like it's
in every shot.
it's in every shot. Like there's really, unless you're shooting into the audience or the dinner tables and stuff, the family, you can kind of finesse it a little bit, but you want to get that shot like from the other way.
Right.
And there's just, it's not even like one of them. Like I try my best to like angle myself out of it, or,
Knowing ahead of time.
knowing ahead of time. And I'm like,
It's great when you're trying to get a little bit of oscillation on your camera, and
Exactly.
it just creeps in.
It just
you're just
creeps
like,
in.
Right,
and then
every
right,
time.
and then you just
every time, man. But shout out to Elkins. Amazing place. Let's just put a blanket or
If
something.
I was a video content creator, like I made videos about video, don't forget what you're gonna say because I know you're on.
Yeah.
Like it would be funny to have someone dressed up in an exit sign, and be like, "I'm here," like you know what I mean?
That's a real.
Is it
that's a
already?
real-
Or
no,
we just
no,
made
it's
it
got,
up?
yeah, you just made that.
That's
up.
what I'm
That's
saying.
great.
Like we need to do this.
Yeah, because I mean, and
every videographer would or filmmaker.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
and photographers don't really care because guess what?
They're Photoshop.
There, like with video, for me to like get that out, like you have to like rotoscope it, and then you have to have a clean plate.
So
It's sorry.
let's get into this. The other day, literally, I was doing a wedding on Sunday. Socket, like there was just 2 sockets near the dress as we were
right.
And I was like, Mary, are you good with that socket? She's like, I'm just gonna Photoshop it out. I'm like, man,
must be nice.
I was like, I can't do that. Like, I just, you know how hard it would be for me to do that. Like, it would take so much time for me just to do that.
Again, ignorant. I would never think of that. I don't think I realize that you guys don't have the simple AI Photoshops that.
Not yet. I mean, eventually, who knows? But for right now, it's not there.
I mean, that leans into one of the questions you asked, like the little things that people don't think about. Exit signs. And just small, like it's a small thing that doesn't seem like much until you get into the editing bay and you're like, dude, I can't get this exit sign.
It's
out
like
of this shot.
Level 1 video when you first start, you're just like getting the shot. They're all, you're good, you know. Then you start getting into like higher levels, 2, 3, 4. Like as you get up there, now you're looking at the background. Like you got your front, but you're like, let me make sure the background's good, because that's a lot of the key is like you might have the perfect shot, they're doing whatever, but the background there's like, you know, construction work, like not construction, but you know what I'm saying, like one place I won't name had construction going on for like a year, and every time you film there, it's very hard to like find a spot
down
to
the
like.
street.
I think so. Yeah.
So we're going to save this 10 years from now. So working on 10-year goals. Okay. 10-year goals is we're going to own a wedding venue. And when I do, I'm going to say, guys, listen, it starts with the exit signs in the ballroom.
Yep.
And we're going to play this clip.
I'm telling you,
2035, 2030, I'm going to say 9 years.
On the news, Harry McCluskey's venue has shut down. There was no exit signs. Everybody's gone.
There's got to be, there's like,
didn't pass.
They just got to be able to be like just shut off just for the like the first hands.
I know what you're saying.
This is what I love.
It's a code thing.
It is like, no joke. Like this is so minor, and like we could literally talk about this for a hot minute, but like it's such a perfect example. Why can't there be something for that 15 minutes?
Right.
Because again, nobody at the venue gives 2 shits about the photographer or videographer shots, but it's such a eyesore that why can't there be some fix? Well, when I build mine from the ground up, guys.
I like it. Hopefully, I'll be part of it.
Just think about a first dance. It's usually extremely dimly lit. Like someone like me, I bring spotlights, so they're literally spotted.
Oh my God. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You got a question about the spotlight?
I have a question.
Okay.
I can't afford
I'm
spotlights.
going to shit on him.
I need a raise.
Hold on. Okay.
You want me to have spotlights? You got to give me a raise.
I don't understand. I don't understand. So please give me again. I'm going to say for the 4th time, the ignorance I have. I don't understand how some people, and maybe this is the difference of a lot of stuff, of me, late night, open dance floor, I want it dark. I work with this guy. It's fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of the dance floor. So what late night vibes, what are we doing with the lighting as far as, I don't know how to, I guess I need to look at, you're the perfect example of, I want to see what your late night vibes lighting looks like versus, I guess I'll say ours for the most part, because I don't think you guys do all that much lighting late night. But the question I have for you that it just like sparked something to me is, I think dark and moody, yet I think Drew never turns these lights off ever. So walk me through that.
Yeah, so dark, moody, editorial, you have to create contrast.
Okay.
So you have to separate your subject from the backgrounds. So you can do that in 2 ways. You can do that with, you know this word, it's a very popular word, bokeh. So you open up the aperture, you blur the background. It's basically portrait mode. Or you use light to illuminate the subject and basically black out everything else. So they feel like they're almost in the room by themselves.
Right.
I like to create that look. So I cross light. So I'll have 2 spotlights usually. So I have one and they're directly across from each other on the dance floor, and it just illuminates it beautifully. And you can subtly see, like, I like it. I think the best shots are when the bride and groom are perfectly exposed, and then the background you see like the glimmer from like the candles in the background, and you just see like you can see that people are there, but they're not overpowering the shot.
Yeah.
You're creating depth. Light creates depth, and it's something that I've learned. And if I can be honest, the spotlights that I got a few years back single-handedly changed the game for me.
Really?
It opened up so much. Like when I tell you, perfect example, I shot at the Lucy recently, and it was raining outside. So we can't go outside to Broad Street. The portrait session was kind of chalked. So it's like, hey, we got to shoot it in here. Now, what's the advantages of being a photographer? You got a flash.
Yeah.
They do the direct flash. They're getting that spotlight look in a small package. They're right here. They're off camera flash. They're on camera flash. They're creating all these stuff. But as a videographer, a lot of times we trail the photographer. Like we're shooting the same thing, and then you're like epilepsy, like flash every 2 seconds in your video. And
Yes.
you're like, this is ruining the shot.
Yes.
So working with photographers that are collaborative and are like down to be like, yo, Drew, get your shot. And like, we like bounce off each other. Amanda, perfect example. You mentioned her earlier. Work with Amanda all the time. I love working with her because like we collab on shots, and we love being creative. Like she leans into it too. And it's like, she'll drive for some shots, and then I'll drive, and then I'll get some stuff, and then she'll bounce off of me, and then vice versa.
Piggyback, right.
And so yeah, like the lighting, to go back to the Lucy, it was raining, and we were just in the ceremony space, and they had all the chairs set up, and in the front of like the altar area, they had like these beautiful candle lights, and the photographer's taking her pictures and flash and everything like that. I'm like, wait a second, I need to break out my spotlight, put this thing up, single source light. I told the venue at the Lucy, and thank God they obliged. I said, is there any way you can turn off all these house lights? And she's like, all of them? And I'm like, yeah, like I want it pitch black. I don't want anybody to be able to see for 3 seconds until I turn my light on. It was pitch black in there because it was already dark outside from the rain. It was cloudy. They cut the lights out. It's pitch black. I illuminate my spotlight, and the way the light works is you can spread the light. You can go wide or tighten it. So I do a real tight beam of light right on the bride, put her right in the middle of these candles. And it's the light is matched to the same color temperature as the candles around her. So nice and warm. So it's not like LED.
This is 48 or 45.
Right. So I go warmer than that usually.
Kelvin,
Yeah, my Kelvin's usually pretty warm. I like warm because it just reminds me of like Kodak film stock, like nostalgic warmness. So I color match to the candles, and I spot the bride. And dude, the photographers took her flash off, and she goes, look at this. Like she didn't even have to edit the photo. Like it was like unbelievable, the contrast that created just from lighting.
Yeah.
So like if I didn't do that, my shots would have been unbelievably flat. Like there would have been no depth. I would have been cranking my ISO all the way up. There would have been all this grain introduced. Getting those lights and having them on standby with me, like everywhere I go, like my second shooter during portrait session, it'll just be me shooting, and like they'll help me with the light because it's that important. Like I literally rather have somebody on the light than on a secondary angle because the light is that important.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah, the day I got those lights was the day my films were elevated to a whole nother level. So lighting is so important. It's so important, dude. Well, think about it. With what you do, the uplighting, like how it makes such a massive difference. Sure. Like look right here. Turn these off. Right. What would it look like in here? Right. It would just make. Not that it doesn't look great already, but it just gives a level of.
Here's a word I like to use. Ready? Ambiance.
Ambiance.
It's literally what.
And it creates depth. Like it shows that there's.
What he's talking about.
It shows that there's space behind these trees.
Right. Yeah.
Because if these lights weren't on, it would almost look like these trees are painted on the wall.
Right.
So yeah, light creates contrast, creates depth and space, and just evokes feeling.
I like the lesson, so thank you. B, as a MC, I'm still never going to agree with it because I want it dark and I want them getting wild and crazy. Yeah, and the darker it is, the better it is.
I feel that.
But I'm glad at least I get a little bit more of the back end of it. I also feel like you got a new fan today because
I can't wait to go home and watch.
I was just gonna say I knew you were gonna be like, all right, I gotta get.
Yeah, man. The lights.
Nah, but I'm like working on like learning all that. Like I never went to like
and I mean
film
again,
school or anything.
Like
I'm sure
real true story.
I mean, like you just like I'm self-taught. Like
I handed him the camera 2.5 years ago, give or take, and said like we're just gonna.
I watched my first video over again, and I walked right up to him. I was like, bro, you should fire me right now based on that video. I was handed one camera to like just go do it. I mean, I actually filmed the first time I ever filmed, I filmed a wedding with an iPhone for a friend randomly. Just
Oh,
took a bunch of stuff, put it together a long time ago, literally just because I wanted to. Like
it.
we're talking
Yeah.
about like an iPhone 6. I don't even know what it was, and you know,
Hey man, that's how it starts.
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to watch some of my old videos, I would cringe. Like,
Right.
really cringe.
but no, you get better
haven't-
every time.
Yeah, you get better every time, and
I mean, I'm still like, even though like I know you were like, oh, the studio's awesome. I'm still like trying to figure out like tweaking like,
dude, it looks
you
great
know,
here, man.
I mean,
Shout out to Studio 33.
yeah,
someone said it looked a little dark, and I'm like, I like the
Yeah,
darkness on the
it's a
side of
vibe.
his. Like I'm saying, like
Yeah.
I don't want it too bright. I feel like we have pretty much as much light as I'd
I
like to
think.
introduce
Listen,
to.
I think everything Harry touches turns to gold. I'm such a
love this
fan
guy.
of this
I
guy.
love
I
this
really
guy.
am, and I just think you're
Harry
such a
McMidas.
pioneer in the game, man.
I love
Everything you do.
So let's go back even further because shout out to Nicole Hoke. Is she a high school teacher of yours?
My brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah.
So I used to be, I don't even know if you know this, Keith. I used to be a teacher's assistant in an alternative school. when I
Weren't you
was,
going to
like,
be a history
21.
teacher?
That was like high school days.
Oh,
I was a
okay.
history teacher. But when I was like 21, I was bartending and I was a TA at an alternative school. I'm sitting in a hallway trying to come up with a name in the mix. Entertainment back in the day is what it was. And these kids were like badasses that like, what's 2 + 2? F you, Miss Jamie. Like they were like wilding out. Like I would restrain kids. Like it was wild. But anyway, I met a teacher there that I became real cool with. And she's like, always from day one, like, you gotta look up this rapper kid I know. And this was probably 15 years ago, maybe. And nothing ever came out of it. And 7 years later from that was probably when we met at that
The
wedding.
wedding.
So
So you didn't
crazy.
even meet me as a rapper. You met
No,
me as a
100%.
wedding
As-
videographer.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
in a different season of my life when we
It's
met.
meant to be though. Kismet.
Like when we met that day, I mean, I vividly remember like we hit it off. And then like
Yeah.
when he told me the connection, I was like, you're that guy. Like,
It's wild.
so random. And I know you're like a Northeast guy, but where at? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Fox Chase.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Morel now. I'm still in the Northeast
Okay.
because at the time my job had a residency
You
clause.
had
So I bought my house, and then 2 years later they lifted it. So that's great. Because
That's
otherwise I'd probably be up here somewhere in Bucks County.
yeah.
But I like where I'm at now. But yeah, I grew up in Fox Chase. I went to Cecilia's, McDevitt, and then I graduated from PAX, and that's where the Miss Hope connection is. My brother went to PAX, and
We still
they're still connected. He's very close with her. You know, he lives in Germany now, but every time he's around, he always goes and has dinner with her, and they're
That's
still
cool.
very close. Yeah.
we still do like school dances and stuff for PAX.
Do you? Oh, that's
All these
awesome.
Years later. All right, so let's get into some fun ones.
Let's do it.
This is going to be the T segment.
Let's get it.
And I started talking about this a lot more lately. I don't know if it's different in 2020 or 2026, but being that we're in 2026,
Mhm.
is video more important than photography at a wedding?
No, I don't think I don't think one's more important than the other. I think they're equal, and I think they coexist equally. It's I mean, I think people just book photography because it's just like the classic thing to book. Wedding photography, you got to have a photographer. Video is equally as important. So photography it shows you what it looked like, but video is how it felt. The photo isn't
like
going to
that.
move. The photo isn't going to move. The photo isn't going to let you hear grandma's voice 10 years down the line. These are all things that just can't be replicated with photo, and video can't replicate. Like, you're not going to hang a video on the wall. I mean,
Right.
I guess maybe you could, but like, it's, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they definitely, one does not replace the other. I think they're equally as important. It just, couples for whatever reason just don't prioritize video like they do photo.
know.
I don't get it. And I've been saying this more and more on the pod lately. I say this in every consult I have. Everybody gets photo, not everybody gets video. And I've been saying that I think I've probably said I think video is more important than photo. And I think I'll retract and say exactly what you said, that they're both equally.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I lean on the video side is something you specifically said, is hearing grandma's voice 10 years later. Or, I also give the example of the picture on the mantle versus reliving it. There's just so, but I'm just here to make it real clear. I think it's non-negotiable that if you're spending thousands of dollars on a wedding, that it must be filmed, period.
I agree.
I have a theory.
I'm here.
So a lot of people are kind of introverted nowadays. They're still getting married. Clearly, obviously, everyone's going to get married. Well, most people, not everyone, but you know my point. So as you're getting married,
Is that a dig? I'm just kidding.
no, I
Don't
just meant
cut
that.
that
I,
one. Bad. I'm just kidding.
I just meant that obviously not every single person gets married, but the majority of people that get married, you got to figure a lot of them are going to be introverted. They don't want to see themselves on a video. They just don't.
Oh, can I got to
Go
cut
ahead.
you off real quick. I had a consult today. I feel real good about this couple. I feel like they're going to book. A lot of people come to us for DJ. We're known for DJs. I'd like to think I'm a good salesman. If they don't have photo or video, can I pitch you? Today's couple, they said they didn't have anything booked. So I'm going into full spiel. I tell them about DJs. I tell them about photo. And then I say, and we're thinking video too, right? Like I'm trying to not say, are you also in? I just want to just go into it. And this couple just cut me off so hard. And again, I'm not going to push them if they weren't, but they just mentioned how they're very not camera people. They don't like them on selves. They don't like pictures of themselves. They don't like being filmed. So then they mentioned they're only interested in the ceremony for video. And we can dabble in this in a second. And let me be very clear. I don't push that we offer content creators. But if they ask me about them, I will tell them that we will do it. So the guy was very blunt, cursed a lot. I like this guy. But like he had no room for bullshit. And like, why am I going to pitch him about photo booths if he wants absolutely nothing to do with photo booths? They did want a photo booth. But I wasn't like, video was just like a hard no. And then they started talking about that. And I was like, well, like if you just want something like simple, and this is like one of the very few times I mentioned content. I don't even think I got creator out of my mouth and he like lost his mind. He was like, don't even say them two words to me. We want nothing to do with that. Then they went into, they don't like themselves on camera. And like, we would never, we go on vacation and forget to post our pictures and videos from vacation. Why would we hire and I go, okay, great. And I said, you know, we can of course do something just for the ceremony with a videographer. I said, but I'm also going to be honest that if you're going to book a videographer for your 1 hour ceremony, you're going to pay more than, I don't want to say than you should, but you're asking someone to book here and away for 1 hour. Like obviously it's got to be worth it. So I think they're going to revisit it, but I just, going back to equally important for the video side, I'm curious how many people care so much about their insecurities of themselves.
That's what I'm saying. That's
and
exactly
I'm
what I'm
going
saying.
to where you're going, Keith, because, you know, you're a very handsome man over here, sir. So let me tell you. But I can't tell you how many people hate themselves on clips once we do them because they look 10 pounds heavier or got a
He's
double
following the
chin
rule.
or,
He has a
know,
beard.
He has a beard.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
we're
beard.
saying
Everyone
beard
cares
guys
about
are
their
good.
double chin.
Yeah.
So, but like, I don't think this ever even came to me. I think subconsciously, we'll say 15%, immediately off the rip, probably don't think video or it just doesn't even cross their minds because they're not photogenic or they're, you know what I mean? Like, God forbid they spend all this money on video and they feel fat.
Yeah.
Or they feel like which is terrible in so many words. Like, you know, this is your day and you're the center of attention. But like, I'm just curious. I don't think I ever thought about it in that aspect.
It does come up. It's a tough one. I get people. Some people don't feel comfortable on camera, and to be honest, they're probably not my ideal client. There's people that want to, want it captured, and those are probably the people I want people that want to work with me.
Sure.
But I will submit to say, if a couple is like on the fence and they're like, you know what, we're just going to do it and hope for the best, then as a filmmaker on the day, it's all about the experience. How do you make them feel?
I agree with that.
Because it's not just the film that you're selling the experience. They're working with you, and that when I'm there on the day, I want to feel like I'm part of the day, and I want them to feel comfortable with me, and I want to be friends with them well after the wedding is over. So, the experience is truly what I'm selling. And then I feel like the video is just like the added extra. Like I feel like I'm fun on a wedding day. I feel like I make people feel great about themselves. And yeah, I feel like a lot of the reviews I get, they mention that. They're like, oh, Drew makes me feel so comfortable.
Vibes is everything.
Vibes is everything, man. And ultimately the wedding day is going to go exactly the way the bride and groom feel. Like if they're off, the whole day is going to be off. And if they're feeling it and everything's good, the vibes are high, it's going to be an amazing day.
Totally unrelated.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Do you ever play the game in your head in that first hour of like, yep, they're going to make it, or these people got no shot? Is that ever something that's in your head?
What, like if like a clip of somebody, you mean, or
Like you're an hour in the filming or post ceremony, but like we're there. Are you ever like, wow, they're so in love, they're going to be together in 30 years, or the opposite of like no shot, 5 years, they're still together?
yeah.
Kind of thing?
Well, yeah, you kind of pick.
I do it literally every single wedding.
Yeah,
I've
you
ever
pick
been a
up on
part of.
things.
You have
I
to.
do my best to film as many like moments as possible. Like I don't want to just film like someone stuffing the like I see a lot of like there's debate on whether you should film cocktail hour or not. I will film the details of cocktail hour, but like there's certain things I'm not going to film. Like I'm not going to film somebody stuffing their
B-roll
face
shit.
with like shrimp cocktail.
I know what B-roll means, guys. Sorry.
B-roll, yeah, you know, he did it.
Trying to drop a word in
That's
there.
his rapper name.
B-roll, yeah. Oh damn, B-roll. Wow, that would have been crazy if we met each other as rappers and you were B-rolling it.
Is it just Drew with the
Yeah,
with the three?
with the three,
Okay,
man. And it's never
that's, that's what you're on my phone as, for the record.
Drew with the three. I'm in
you
many
are.
phones like that. It's tattooed on my back, dude,
That's
forever.
awesome.
Yeah, the 16-year-old decision that I'll never get back, but it's all good. I'm gonna live with it. I'm not getting it covered, dude. I'm just gonna live with it.
Where's it at?
It's
On the back, you said?
dude. I have a whole back piece.
We need a pick on
Yeah,
that.
I could take it. Yeah, we can get a pic. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a mess, but whatever.
I got a good one.
Yeah,
What's the hardest part of your job that nobody sees?
exit signs. Exit signs.
That's
Trying to
awesome.
crop them out. Dude, honestly, it's like he mentioned, it's that constant, like almost like fear, little black cloud that sits all day. It's like, oh, dude, are one of my SD cards going to fail? Am I going to run out of battery? Am I going to miss something? So just having backups, like backups on backups on backups, specifically audio. So it's like, I go to you and I say, Harry, do you mind if I get an XLR off the back of the speaker or plug into your board? But then also I have a sleeve on the mic with a microphone. That's a backup. I'm laving up the speakers. I'm laving up the groom during the ceremony. God forbid one of the three cut out. I have something. And I've filmed weddings prior to having all those backups where I lost audio, and now I'm relying on like in-camera audio and it's echoey, reverby. It's like the little details that people just don't think of that are like stressful on a wedding day for a videographer. I'm
100%,
sure you've experienced it. Another thing that happened, and it sucks because again, we can't Photoshop it out. Have you ever had dust on your sensor?
Oh, the worst.
So now it's something I will look for. Like I will point my camera at a white wall and then take a clip and then see if I have dust on my sensor, because it will literally show up as a black dot. And if you don't catch it, you cannot get rid of it. So if you don't catch that in the beginning of the day, every single shot will have this black dot on your clip, and there's nothing you can do about
I just seen, I'm in like a Facebook, I'm in a bunch of groups, you know, for like DaVinci Resolve, and they're like, where are these little black dots? And they're like, dust on your sensor, bud. You're effed.
You're
you know?
basically screwed.
Like he's like, how can I fix it? It's like, you ain't fixing it.
I almost wish that cameras had like some sort of automatic setting that could detect dust
Right,
and
like let you know.
Yeah, because you know how you can hit the button and it does like the sensor clean. It'll
little
basically vibrate.
pixel thing whenever it helps.
Yeah, it'll like vibrate.
Yeah.
It'll vibrate the sensor to knock any dust off.
Yeah.
Like I wish cameras would automatically, maybe they do, but I don't think mine does. Like I wish it would automatically knock dust off, like when it detects it, but we're not there yet. But that's just more.
I think we're creating some
stuff.
stuff here. Like if we
I think so. We have to make that patent, dude.
Like, yeah.
I was already thinking about like, do we want to like air this and just, you know, make it? All right. What is the most emotional moment you ever filmed?
So, okay, this is a good one. Recently, a planner reached out to me on Instagram randomly, and she told me about a nonprofit called Wish Upon a Wedding. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
Shout out to Wish Upon a Wedding. What they're doing is amazing. She tells me, she says, hey, I'm working with Wish Upon a Wedding. They're a nonprofit that get vendors from all over the country to volunteer to make a wedding wish come true for families or couples dealing with terminal illness or like really scary health
This is
complications.
awesome. Okay.
And she reached out to me. She's like, "Hey, Drew." She actually found I had a reel. I don't know if you've seen it. I had a reel go viral recently. We can talk about that. She found me from that.
Okay.
She found me on the For You page, and she DM'd me because she seen like in my bio that I was from the Philly area. She's like, "Hey, this wedding's in Harrisburg. It's a couple through Wish Upon a Wedding." She told me the whole thing. So the groom had a very rare cancer, and they were doing a vow renewal. So they were already married, but they never had like a proper wedding. And so they pulled this whole thing off. So they had a planner, a florist, a videographer, a photographer who I'm great friends with now. She's amazing. Shout out to L Studios. We met on that day, drove all the way to Harrisburg, that 100 miles all the way west. And I met this couple, and man, he was so inspiring because you would never know he was dealing with what he was dealing with. I mean, we're talking rare like serious stuff. And you would never know, man. When I was there, like I could feel like it felt heavy to me because I knew in the back of my head what was going on, but his vibes were so high. But what really got me was the person who married them was the groom who was dealing with this. It was his dad, and his dad, as he was speaking and before he actually pronounced them husband and wife, he was just speaking on like little tidbits of his son when he was growing up. And there was just like this emotional heaviness that you could feel to it. I'm getting chills thinking about it. And I'm sitting there behind my camera, and I feel like I'm almost fighting a tear back because I know the gravity of what's going on with him. That's why we're all here together. And it was a celebration and it was beautiful, but you can just see that the dad was like, it almost felt like he was just getting out everything he wanted to say to his son. And he's
you're filming this.
As I'm filming it, and I'm like, dude, this is so heavy. Like, I feel like it just felt like I was doing something so much bigger than myself. And I was really just like humbled by that whole experience. I'm like, man, like this guy is going through something that I don't know anything about. And he's handling it with grace. And I see his dad here, and he knows, of course, what's going on. And he's holding it together for his family. And he's standing in front of, it was a small wedding. It was probably 50 people, but there was like 50 of his closest people. You could tell it was just that vibe. And, man, just being a part of that, that was by far the coolest thing I was a part of my whole wedding career. Just felt, and when I delivered the film to them, and then now they have that. See, that's the thing. Like, you'll be able to hear his, God forbid anything were to happen to, and I think he's doing great, which is amazing. But God forbid anything were to happen, you have that. You have his voice. You have all those moments captured, clear audio, and that's where the job just becomes more so important. And yeah, it's just more than a job. And man, shout out to that Shakis and Robert were their names, and they were just great people. They were great people, and everybody involved, amazing.
I'm super interested. I'm all about giving back. So
yeah, man. I can definitely give you some info on it. Yeah, and you can apply to be a vendor, and it's just like it just feels cool to give back, man.
Listen, it's probably my favorite part of being a business owner is little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's sponsoring a kid's baseball team.
Yeah, man. Something like that. Yeah.
There's a girl, Nicole. I don't know why her name's totally just blanked in my mind. 15 years ago, a buddy of mine asked me to DJ a talent show at St. Christopher's or Chop. I don't remember which one it was. And I seen this 3-year-old boy, I want to say single mom, and it was my buddy's friend's kid who went there and set us up. And I've been friends with her on Facebook this whole time.
Mm.
And this kid has been in and out of hospital for 10, 15 years. She meets a new guy, they get engaged. And I immediately reached out to her, and I was like, this one's on me.
Wow.
It was just something that made me feel so good. But I mean, it's not the same, but it's similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of story of it. And I want to say the kid's 15 now. We did their wedding this past summer.
Mm.
I can't believe I can't think of her name off the top of my head, but
what an amazing gesture.
I'm super interested in just trying to, do something like that again. So it's definitely
Yeah. Wish Upon a Wedding.
Wish Upon a
What a
Wedding.
great organization. And they're countrywide. They do it all over the country. And I follow them on Instagram.
I'm just
and
weird. I'm just shocked I haven't heard about it. How long ago was this that you did this?
This was in January.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, this
Oh, wow.
year. Yeah. So it was recent.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was at
tell me about God.
it was at King's Mansion, which is, I don't know if have you been out to Harrisburg at all? It's like in Harrisburg, it's like one of the more popular venues,
Okay.
and it was dope, man. It was right on the water, and yeah, it was really beautiful, man. Just a great time.
Tell us about your viral video. That you
Oh yeah.
low-key threw in there. I'm just kidding.
What's funny about it? I didn't think anything of it when I was filming it, because I think when I'm filming speeches, and I'm sure you're just doing your best to make sure your angles are right, and you almost don't even hear what they're saying because you're so focused on the lighting and the composition and making sure the audio is right. So I filmed it, and I get into the editing room, and I line up all the audio for the speeches, and I'm running through a bridesmaid in particular speech, and she gave the bride and the groom a gift, and the gift was a clock. I don't know if have you seen this?
So weird that I just was looking at a video.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was today. I have this exact video that I did where she puts the exact time of
When they got married.
Yeah, I
Yep.
love that gift. It's a cool gift.
So it's a broken clock.
Wearing a
with no batteries, and she stopped the time on she took note of the exact time that the bride and groom were pronounced husband and wife, and she stopped the clock at that exact time, put it in a bag, and then during her toast speech at the reception, she gifted it to them, and then they opened it. So I had an angle on the bridesmaid, and then I had an angle on the bride and groom of them opening it, and she had like this really beautiful, like she could say it better than I ever could, but she had like a whole speech around that moment. So I put it together as a reel vertically with her up. I forget if the couple was up top or down. Either way, it was split screen, so you could see both of the reactions simultaneously. And it's got over 6 million views.
Let's go. That's
which
awesome.
is insane. And I know you guys are used to going viral. You've been going viral.
We don't got a 6 mil, bro. You're good.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm
listen,
a little bit jealous, to be honest with you.
I did
Yeah.
not expect.
Honestly, I was waiting for him to drop. I thought it was like you say 1 mil. I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I just checked it before I came on here because I had a feeling we were going to talk about it. 6.1 million.
Was it
Oh.
recently?
This was maybe October. Yeah.
What platform does it have?
Instagram. Yeah,
Instagram.
Instagram. I posted on TikTok too. I did well on TikTok, but not nearly as well.
TikTok's weird.
That's- yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
strange
yeah,
thing.
TikTok-
I feel like someone's on the button controlling TikTok.
Yeah, the algorithms are
I'm
extremely
telling
weird.
you, I feel like there's certain stuff I posted. I know it's not that bad. It's like that. You get 300 views. Shut up.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then other stuff you post, and it's just like, no.
I just posted a reel 2 days ago. I thought for sure, like, oh, this is going to go viral. 200-300 views.
Dude, we do this every time. The ones that we think are going to crush never do. And we're like, oh, let's just throw that one up to get another
It
one up. And that's
always
the one that
happens.
blows off.
Like,
We're
what would you think would go viral? The clock thing, which is cool. Maybe I've seen the video so many times that it doesn't hit as much. But I
Right.
think watching that for the first time, especially if you've never seen that, I can see how that would go viral. But I just had a video that I posted. I don't know if you've seen it. The mother of the bride is sitting there talking about the groom, and she's on the mic. And she's like, the groom's name was Ryan. She's like, Ryan is thoughtful. He's caring. He's this, all these adjectives. And at the very end, she goes, but most of all, he's fine AF. And like everybody was cracking up. You had people doing the clock it like this in the background. I'm like, oh, mom's calling the groom hot, like fine. Like, I'm like, that's for sure going to go viral. Like, go ahead, mom, whatever. Nah,
Nothing.
300 or whatever. And I try not to post with that in mind, like, oh, this is going to go viral. But I just thought that was like a funny, like I literally like cracked up when I heard it.
It has a lot to do. Do you post clips a lot?
I try, yeah, I mean, I try to, like something like that. I will, like, I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a clip. Like, like probably when you're in the podcast studio, someone says something, you're probably like, yo,
I mean,
clip it.
I'm like eat, breathe, and sleep
Yeah.
clips. Like I'm arguing with myself and the algorithm like
Yeah.
nonstop. Like it's all about that first 3 seconds.
Clips.
If you get the first 3 seconds for them to hold, and then if also you get other people watching, then I think
1000%.
there's one more thing after that is once it starts to get like that kind of thing where like, it's special, like for some reason or another, then other people watch it because it has those numbers,
Yes.
right? If I look at a clip and I'm like, oh, this has 8 likes, I don't care how good it is. Sometimes I'll just swipe, and I don't mean to do it,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things. But I think when people look and they're like, well, why does this have 2 million views? Hold on, let me watch it. And I feel like that in itself makes it grow to another. You know what I mean?
1,000%. And
It's like the mob mentality kind of a thing.
And then going back to that Wish Upon a Wedding thing, that's how the planner found me through that video.
Yeah.
So like that's that's like one of the things that I've been trying to do is like just get like on board with planners and stuff. I feel like I've been just kind of out there, you know, like a chicken with his head cut off, like just filming weddings where people can discover me. But like I really wanted to build relationships and network in this industry. And of course, like, you know, getting the ears of planners and just being like visible to people. And she was the first planner that reached out to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my moment. And it was for that. And I'm like, wow, like what an opportunity. And that's how she found me. So clipping is very important. It can build a brand.
And again, I'm all about good karma and like paying forward, and
for
like,
sure.
I guarantee that comes back around one way or another, and the whole nine. So
yeah, I felt amazing. It felt special, man.
it's awesome.
Being there just felt unbelievably special, and I'm grateful that I met them.
Yeah.
I really am.
So walk us through. I like to ask people that have gotten married in the past couple of years that are in this business. So you being a recent 23, when did you get married?
22.
Wait, that
I
been
know.
4 years
I know.
already?
We're getting old, man.
You getting married, does your job as a filmmaker change since that day? Is there anything different about going into weddings now that you've experienced it being a groom? And I really didn't think it was 4 years ago. I thought it was much more fresh, but
it's crazy how long ago it's been. I guess it gave me I also feel like becoming a husband gave me a new perspective, but even more importantly, becoming a dad, and you know, it just gives you an unbelievable perspective on just the small fleeting moments.
Sure.
So I think I've slowed down a lot since getting married, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like, you know, prior to getting married, you know, we had no kids. We were just doing whatever we wanted. We were moving at our own pace. Then we get married and things, you know, on paper feel more official, but I feel like we just slowed down as a couple, and really just leaning into pacing myself and not rushing things. And like I mentioned earlier in the pod, like letting things breathe. I was so caught up in like the flashy moments and just quick editing and got to hit every beat marker. But I find the real emotional power is in frames that you allow to breathe. And yeah, since getting married, I feel like I've just gained more of that perspective. I slow down now. Me and my wife have conversation, no phones, and just hear each other. And you know how it is, man. You could be sitting there watching a movie with each other and not even paying attention. You're just doom scrolling. And it's like your attention span is this big. And I feel like since we've gotten married, and especially now that we have kids, we've just slowed down. We've slowed down, and my perspective, I've just zoomed out. So I hope that makes sense.
On the wedding day, though,
Yeah.
going to work as a vendor after getting married, is anything in your timeline, your throughout the day process any different, pre-wedding, post-wedding? Now that you woke up at 6 a.m. and did the whole pictures and dealt with the BS stuff
Been
before?
on the other side of it.
Right, that's what I'm saying, being on the other side. Anything from the vendor aspect change now that you've been on the other side of it?
Well, it's difficult because I had such great vendors.
Oh, really? Tell me about
I
it.
had such great vendors. I could not have asked for better vendors. They were just great. They were, you know, not intrusive. They weren't pushy. The photographer is a really good industry friend of mine who shot my wedding. The videographer is funny story about that. I was in a unique position. I, of course, wanted video.
Story. You did all your own editing,
but I wanted to edit it.
Yeah, I remember this.
And I get it. Most videographers are going to be like, no, like that's part of my brand. I want to edit the film that I shoot. So not everybody wanted to just give me raw files. It's very difficult to find.
I would have done it.
I wish I would have found you.
I would have done it.
So I was posting on groups and I was getting some people hitting me up. So I found a guy messaged me. His name's Garrett. Shout out Garrett. He's from LA or California, somewhere out there. And he's like, dude, I'll come out. I looked at all his work he shoots. What was important was like the camera system. Like he shot like basically on all the same stuff that I shoot with. Right. Same lighting. Ironically, the lights that he brought to my wedding is what inspired me to buy them.
Really? Okay.
So that was like the turning point. The videographer that came, Garrett, came to my wedding, brought these lights. They were incredible. And I'm like, dude, what are these lights? He told me what they were. I bought them like immediately. Changed the game for me.
How much?
In
They're-
2022 versus now.
I just want to know price. I'm going to determine whether
I
I'm
want to say
getting them.
they're somewhere between $400 and $500 a piece.
We're
but
gonna have
like,
to wait a little
dude,
bit.
The return
Yeah.
on investment is unbelievable. Like the product, like, man, I'm telling you, man, they get them. They changed the game.
Interesting.
I
And
want
another thing that
everything.
changed the game, and I'm sure you use it with the FX3, monitor LUTs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, putting your LUT on in camera so
Yeah.
you can expose and see what it looks like before you get to the editing room. Those two things changed the game for me. Because now when I compose and frame and get my lighting right, I see exactly what my image is going to look like. Sorry, we're nerding out again.
You're good. You're good.
But yeah, so shout out to Garrett, Film My Wedding. But everybody was so great, man. Like Apex, like everybody was amazing. So I really had no like horror stories that I could be like, I'll never be like that guy. Like I had a great experience. So
Selfish plug. I will say this. I was super bent when you came to me and you told me your date and I was already locked in. I don't know. I think I was like a personal friend or someone that I was like long in already deposit. But you're like, I still trust your crew and the brand, and you know, shout out to Apex for crushing. But this is how good I am that I'm like sickly, have a weird memory. Blue Mountain? God, I'm good.
Blue Mountain.
I just picture the room and I know the room.
Which wasn't that room that we ended up getting. So kind of a nightmare scenario with that, but it ended up working out in the end. That was the unique thing about being a wedding vendor, is visiting all these venues and kind of experiencing it.
Knowing
So
some stuff,
I
yeah.
had like a unique advantage in that. And I told my wife, we were looking at venues and we were like, did any stick out to you? And for some reason, Blue Mountain did, because where you get married, it's literally like on the peak
cliff
of a mountain.
yeah,
like it's like there's like where you're getting married, and like 10 feet behind you is just like a drop off into the valley.
Everybody
Really
did that
cool.
one.
I don't know if you've
Bear
been there.
Creek, maybe.
Oh,
No,
Bear
it's
Creek or
Creek, it's
Camelback.
different.
Yeah.
There was one where like literally like it was one of the coolest weddings I ever filmed,
The
where there was just
backdrop
like the
is-
backdrop was the mountain. Like,
Yeah. And then like
just trees. It was amazing.
yeah. And, like I just love the mountain. Like the air is just cleaner
Yeah.
up there. Like it just there's I don't know. I get like good vibes up there. So she asked me, she's like, is there any that like, stuck with you? And Blue Mountain was just like, dude, like when I filmed that wedding, when I filmed a wedding there years prior, I'm like, that's the one.
That's the spot.
So we booked there, and they shuffled us around with our room, but I won't even get into that because it ended up working out, and they ended up hooking us all up in the end. So all good.
I can't believe it's been 4 years.
I can't believe it. Like like literally 4 years and 2 kids later. Like that's nuts. That's nuts,
Wow, time flies, man.
dude. Yeah. A lot of time has passed, and a lot of things have happened between then and now. But I'm a better man today than I was prior,
Amen.
and my wife
I
makes
got a
me a better
question
man.
for you.
Yeah.
What is like some trends or a trend or anything that you're seeing that you think is like cool or interesting in the industry right now?
With video or just as
Anything
a whole?
in general, but I mean, if video, sure. You know, we ask that pretty much of everybody. We like to put like tips and
let me
trends,
think.
and if you don't have one, it's fine.
Hey, the cannoli guy, kind of a trend, but like a really cool one. And shout out to Harry. You offer that now.
We're doing it now. Joey Cannoli came on, sat here and said, I wish more people were doing it. And I said, hold my beer, if you will. We have like 3 or 4 so far that we booked.
Just
for.
don't tell them to hold your cannoli. That could lead you into a whole different thing.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I'm trying to think of like other like trending thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, have you seen any that stuck out to you?
I don't know the clock thing. I to be honest with you,
Yeah, I guess that's a kind of a trend.
like the way you are with cinematics is the way I am with like clips, because
Mhm.
like my whole brain is just like what clip and what hook and how can I, lead this and how can we go viral, and I just like in my mind I was like, I could take what he's saying about this clock, cut in the video I already have of the lady with the clock,
Yeah.
and even though I mean it's not going to get, you know how it is, you can't post the same thing and it get exactly what someone else got, but
one thing that I wonder, and I mean no disrespect to when I say this, and we can cut this if you want. I don't know if content creation will be considered a trend looking back on it in 5 years. Because where are we going to be
we were
in
talking
5
about
years
this on
with
the last one.
content? Because I get it for the now. Everybody doom scrolls TikTok, Instagram, but we know that is such an evolving space.
Right.
And I wonder.
I think it just has to do with the generation
yeah.
that's ordering it, right? So what is it, Gen Z?
Yeah.
Gen
it'd be
Zs
Gen
are the
Z.
ones that are like, you know what? They're changing everything. And like
I just wonder what's the longevity behind
yeah,
content creation.
It's interesting to talk about.
It
'cause
is.
They
yeah.
don't cut the cake. They don't do any of the formalities. Like
Yeah.
the things that we want for video, like we want all that stuff. If you're
It's
cutting
funny.
everything out,
Yeah.
the one I was about to bring up the one wedding I did where like you're talking about like it has to be cinematic. I like them to do a lot of things because I want to put in all of the intros.
Yeah.
They didn't do a first dance. Their first dance was they came on and everybody joined them on the dance floor. They didn't do parent dances. They didn't do an intro. They didn't have any of that stuff. So it's like when I'm building the story, where does the story go if there's none of that? You know, I put together what I could. They loved it. She was like, "Thank you so much. It was
Yeah.
awesome." I mean, they love what I put together, but for me as you know, a creator of video, whatever you want to call it, like it's hard to put together something when there's not a lot of
Not a lot going on.
right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So as he mentioned, he also MCs weddings, and he goes, "Dude, sometimes I go to these. They're not cutting the cake. They're not doing any formal introductions. They're not doing parent dances. They're going to do a first dance." And again, I stress that the MC's catering the show of the whole night, but when the formalities are cut drastically, he's like, "What am I doing?
I
here?"
want to
Like,
do everything.
right.
Yeah.
like,
I want to
Yeah.
announce 17 people, and in comes,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Monica and Steve. Let's go. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't want to just.
So let's flip it for a second.
Yeah.
So I do consults. I go DJ. I go photo. I go video. And if I'm with a bride and a groom, and I go DJ, and then when we get to photo, I always jokingly say, "Let's be honest. I'm talking to her for the next 5 minutes." When I talk photography, when I get to videography, I always joke and say, "Let's bring the guy back in." And then I usually make a joke that the light bulb goes off more for the men for video. And the question I have written down is, do you find more grooms connect with video than photography? I'm just curious your opinion.
I feel like, well, on the wedding day, the vast majority of grooms, I feel like, are just going
Over
through
it?
the motions over it. You know, listen, it's about the bride. Everybody,
Sure.
it's about the bride, making the bride,
Sure.
and the groom is there to make everyone happy. He's available.
Yeah.
Now, I will say there are some unicorns out there, and I mentioned him earlier in the pod. Ryan, the last groom I had, he must have had like modeling experience, creator experience. The dude just knew how to be on camera, minimal direction. He knew exactly where I was going with it.
like if everyone could be like that.
Dude, it reflected so well on film. Like just watching it, I'm like, dude, he just made it so easy. Now, there's some grooms that are very, you know, need some direction.
Sure.
I do find though that post wedding, when they see the result,
That's the next question.
Yeah.
Keep going.
when they see the result, that's where, like you said, the light bulb kind of switches from, and then they really appreciate it after the fact. Because like we mentioned before, the day of is just a lot going on, and some people don't like being the center of attention.
Right.
And, but after the fact, they're like usually blown away. So
The second question is, do you see guys caring more after they see the final film?
definitely,
And that's got to be, yeah.
definitely, and that's one of the sells of video too. I feel like people don't see the emotional impact of a wedding film until after.
Yeah.
So it's like you truly won't know
You can't, you're in it. You can't see it.
You can't see it. So it's when brides make that decision prior to the wedding, like, oh, do I want a videographer or not? They truly can't see the emotional value until after it's done. So it's a hard sell prior. Like I said, photo is just like a gimme. Like they're booking photo no matter what. There's no wedding that doesn't have a photographer.
Right.
Video is just hard. Like you just have to experience it and see it after the fact to be sold on it. And that's why it's so difficult to convince people that are on the fence.
Yeah.
There's some people that are like, dude, my friend got a video. Like, I need that. I need that. And
They're
those
your
are
favorites.
they're my
right,
favorites.
of course.
Like I feel like every vendor has their ideal client. Now the client, like you mentioned earlier, oh, I don't look great. I don't want to be on camera. Oh, I don't, they're not my ideal client. I want clients who are like, dude, I prioritize that, and I can appreciate the art, the artistry behind it.
Yeah, sure.
Those are my clients. Those are who I want to find me. So please, if you see this, please.
Would you say that? Would you put yourself, your brand per se, in? know if I want to use the word niche market, but like, I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because you have a specific style. brand.
Mm-hmm.
So what, I guess you would say yes to that?
Kind of. Yeah. It's kind of a loaded question just because I definitely have a style. Like I said, I think there's a difference between videographers and filmmakers.
Sure.
And I like to try to pride myself in leaning into more
Sure.
of the filmmaker. And that just means composition, lighting, and certain things. I do have like you mentioned earlier, darker, moodier, editorial, ethereal vibe. There's that word
Some would
again.
say ghostly.
Yeah, warm, almost ghostly.
That's so great.
Aesthetic, nostalgic, feels like a memory suspended in time type vibe. That's what I lean into, but I also understand that I box myself out of a lot of couples because they may not care about any of that.
Right.
And again, those aren't my
For
ideal
you,
couples.
Right. No, it makes
There's
total
some
sense.
couples that literally want just someone coming in and filming the day exactly how it happened. And there are people that do that don't, there's videographers that come in and they don't lead with direction. They kind of just piggyback off the photographer all day. But then I say to that, that's almost the same thing as a content creator, except for you're filming horizontally. It's very similar. There's a lot of videographers that will come in and just shoot things exactly how they happen, don't really care about composition. They follow the photographer when the photographer's like, hey, you want to get a shot? They go, no, I'm good. I got it already. That is almost like a content creator. You're just filming it on a camera instead of a phone. A filmmaker is going to come in with direction and lead you and say, hey, this beautiful pocket of light here will look unbelievable for this one shot. I heard you say your vows earlier, and when you were talking about your husband here, I want to do this like amazing shot where I introduce him and using this light and this beautiful, like that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So like I'm catching little tidbits throughout the day, and then I go back to it. I'm like, man, like when she said that one part in her vows, like if I get this grandiose shot between this arch at Elkins Estate and the green steps are here, like you're just thinking about the edit as you pluck things of the day and just being a professional observer.
Yeah.
That's really what it is when you're filming a wedding. It's just having unique ability to be curious and observant and being able to anticipate things before they happen.
I think you nailed it. Drew, any final thoughts? Any tips? Anything we need to discuss that you can send any knowledge out to our brides and grooms before we end this?
Be aware of exit signs during your first dance. Definitely get some lights, the spotlights, and book in the mix for any and everything, especially the cannolis, because that's insane. Please book that.
I'm not going to lie. As he's doing 1, 2, I swear on everything in life I go. And if he says book in the mix at 3, I love you to death and you're my man.
Yeah. Book these guys. Incredible, incredible people. And you guys are just great guys, man.
And listen, I say this every time I have a friend come on that's a colleague, competitor in the business, if you will. We collaborate at the top. They're enemies at the bottom, if you will. And again, I'm a big fan, and I always appreciate the kind words that you say about me. And in the mix.
You're the GOAT, man. You truly
I
are.
appreciate you coming on, man.
Dude, thank you for having me. This has been an honor, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tomczak, NE Film Co. Check out his work. It's phenomenal. We'll see you on the next one. We're out of here.
You nailed that.